Welcome to the Stampin' Shack. What I'd like to show you today is how to take something that looks like this and convert it into this. With all of the distressing, we have the distressed edges, we have the faux burning, we have some sponging along the side, and I think you'll find that it's probably easier than it looks. Now the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to tear off a corner, and when I tear, I'm going to be tearing up towards me, and that's going to reveal a white edge right along here. I'm simply going to take a sponge dauber and some early espresso ink, and I'm just going to really burnish the edges of this. And this is going to give us our faux burning effect. Now see how easy that is? Everything about this is quick and easy. The next thing I'm going to do is take my 7-sided tool, which is from Stampin' Up. I'm simply going to just go right along the edges, rough it up a bit. Going to go down this side, rough it up. Notice I'm making it fairly rough. We want this to look distressed. I'm going to go through, rough it up again, putting quite a bit of pressure. Now, if you don't have this 7-sided tool, you can use scissors. It will accomplish the same. It's just that I find this so easy. Now, once I get the edges roughed up, I'm just going to go back in, take my sponge dauber and a little early espresso, just zip, 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 right around the edges. See how quick that goes? Zip, 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 zip. And now I'm done with that. Next thing I'm going to do is add a little color in on the edges because I want this to really look like it's aged. I'm going to use from the new Stampin' Up! Distressing Kit some tea stain ink. I'm going to take just a plain old ordinary Stampin' sponge, going to rub it up here, ink it up, and I'm going to come in a circular fashion. See how already it's looking like it's been aged. Do some more, and one of the things is that I'm not going to be, what would this be if I didn't have some type of a problem? People are just going to be watching these things to see the bloopers. Okay, whoa. Okay, we're back to this one-man show. This was just too funny. I was in the middle of showing you how to sponge, and I ran out of battery. But you know what? After 34 years in the classroom, nothing much phases me. I have done so many demonstrations, and you know what? With science, you don't always know what's going to go right or what's going to go wrong. Now, just finishing up with a little bit of this color sponging. Now, one of the things that I want to do is add something that's a little darker now along the outside edges. So I'm going to take the mahogany little stamping spot that comes with the distressing kit. I'm going to go ahead and get some mahogany on here, and once again going in on the edges using a circular motion. Move this around, circular, okay, and I'm going to go back over this, see if I can get some of this off of here. One of the things that you can do and that I would suggest to do is that sometimes just take some of that, get rid of it on your scratch paper here, on your grid paper. Okay, now, next thing I'm going to do is to take this awesome little water spot stamp that comes with the French foliage kit. I'm going to ink it up with some soft suede ink. So pat, 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 pat. There we go. Ink it up. And I'm just going to add a few little water spots. After all, a lot of times with old vintage pieces of paper, you'll find that there will be some water spottage on it. Going to see if we can get some to show up down there. Yep, we'll get a few down there. And at this point, I'm ready to add a few little speckles using my color spritzer tool. So I've got my color spritzer tool. I'm going to put my Stampin' Write marker down in it. Tighten up the screw. We don't want it too tight. If you tighten it up and you've got a bend in it, that means it's too tight. So I'm going to loosen it up. I'm going to give a few little practice spritz. Okay, that looks like pretty good dottage. I'm happy with that. I'm going to hold it down, spritz it. My problem is sometimes I just get too many spritz. Now, the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn up one of the edges. I'm simply going to use this round file that comes with the distressing kit, and I'm just going to curl this up. Now, if you don't have that, by all means, you can just use a stylus. This works really well. Now that I have that curled up, I want to give it a little bit of color. We don't want that bright edge facing us. So, just going to take it. And what we have done is we have went from something that was plain and really too bright for the effect that we were wanting and ended up with something that has this wonderful distressing. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial, and we'll see you next time at the Stampin' Shack. Bye-bye.